You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality art, interviews, music and hot topics. Hosted by Dini-Mussolini and co-hosted by Banditti. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at least 1 hour after each show at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. We welcome all. Enjoy the show.
Oh yeah, there are about 28,000 of you guys on the line with us, and it feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, starseeds, and 2 times for my people who are vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 34,000 plus listeners, and we've been at this for 3 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who have been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still growing, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, literature, business, spirituality, art, movies, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on the show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees, to actors, comedians, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter though who you are or what walk of life that you come from. Come on our show and talk to us. So check it out. To book an interview or just share a real cool story, email me at theradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. I am passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. And with that, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Vigilantes Radio. Thank you again, as always, for tuning in and being a part of our audience family. If you'd like information on how to call in, ask questions, or speak to our guests, you can always dial 701-801-9813 or hop in the mix directly from our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Scroll over to the Vigilantes Radio tab and slap that go live button, and you'll be right here in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only if time permits. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, the app called Podcast Addict, and of course from our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired. Well, today's episode is the Gangsta of Wall Street interview, and I am your host, Dini-Mussolini. The only thing I want to tell you guys is about a peaceful presence. Be at a peaceful presence in the world. Be a peaceful presence in your own life. Man, a peace of mind is just golden these days. And a peaceful presence gives you power without draining your effectiveness. A peaceful presence is purposeful without being obsessive. Let go of worry and let in acceptance. Let go of anxiety and let in a positive effort. Peacefully transform frustration into energy and inspiration. If anger gets you going, let it be a peaceful purpose that keeps you moving. Be at peace with what has happened before, and you can direct it all, your resources, to what will happen next. I guarantee it, friends. Rise above the envy, rise above the resentment, the retribution that will steal your power. Frame each purpose, each action with peaceful presence, and let peace give maximum power to everything that you do. So like I said before, there's a little over 28,000 on the line with us today. Man, you guys are going to break the internet. And we know you're not here for me. No, you have to be here for the gangsta of Wall Street himself. So I won't keep you guys waiting and sending me hate mail for that. Okay, so Vigilantes Radio, our interviews go beyond the music. It goes beyond the business. It goes beyond the movies, the books, and into the minds of the artists, the CEOs, the innovators, the creative geniuses that created. And from researching our, special invited guests, relentlessly mining for details and listening and reading everything that we can, our interviews are designed to bring out the best answers possible through thought-provoking questions that have some real substance. So a sincere, warm welcome to Pierre-Lawson, formerly known to some as Nova Man, to our show today. We will have a absolutely amazing time talking with him about his company, Wall-Street-Jackboyz, his startup venture, and the biggest goals for his future. So with that, my friends, let's welcome him onto our show. Mr. Pierre-Lawson, you are now live and in the mix with all of us. How is it going, and how are you feeling?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Dini, for welcoming me to your show, and hi to everybody that's out there that's listening. Thank you for giving me your time through this day.
No doubt, man. So you're in North Carolina, or are you back in New York?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now.
All right, that's awesome. All right, so how's the weather, man? It's a little topsy-turvy here where I'm at in Mississippi, but how's it going for you?
Well, the weather here is pretty beautiful. I just moved from New York down here probably about 2 months ago, and huge change, coming from all the snow and craziness, and down here it's beautiful. Sun's out shining, and people are happy and smiling and have shorts and sandals on. It's nice, man.
Sounds like utopia.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Pierre, first and foremost, let me extend a massive thank you for your time with us here. I've had a thrill checking out your background and researching your adventures, and quite honestly, I'm seriously impressed. The courses that you wrote are absolutely informal, according to the testimonials on your website, and you never seem to shy away from any challenge that you've dealt with in life. In my research, you absolutely exceed in every expectation. So honestly, you got a tremendous passion to teach and a real gift, which is to make more money. And that's my passion as well. So tell us about what led you or what gave you the confidence in the formation of Wall-Street-Jackboyz.
Well, I mean, it was simple. Once I started, teaching close friends and family members, and the concepts were sticking to them, I knew that it was working, but I still wasn't sure that I could actually, create a group and create a business and things like that. So honestly, it was something I didn't know that I could actually do, because I don't have guru, legend, hedge fund credentials or anything like that. And I actually almost disqualified myself all over a title, which often we do that in life. Some people get caught up on a title. The title is just a title. It doesn't mean anything. And so, I was confident in my training. I invested thousands of dollars into my training, and I was trained by the best. In fact, one of my mentors, she actually, she's on Jim Cramer's show, like, at least on a monthly basis. All the financial wigs and guru people, they actually call her for her insight in the markets. And she dropped out of high school. She doesn't have a high school diploma. So if she can go and do it, then I can do it. And that's where it stemmed from. So that, gave me it reinforced my confidence, and the support of my family, that's what gave me the confidence to let me know that I could actually do it too. So, yeah.
Right. So how did you know that this was something that you were sure you could do, though?
Well, because the concepts, like I was mentioning earlier, the concepts were working for me.
Right.
But it was a long journey for myself. And after training for over a year, some of the concepts were very hard for me to understand. But it wasn't until I started thinking back to my street life that it started making sense to me. And, playing with the ideas, they go up like light bulbs, and I run them by my wife, I run them by my partners, run them by, and started clicking with them. So it was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, you know what, there has to be an easier way to teach this for anybody who just jumped in the game, because a lot of people don't survive. 90% of people don't even make it. But when they get the knowledge, they get the training, they quit because they never get a chance of success, But a lot of guys that came in trying to get free knowledge, book knowledge, and then they think they're going to navigate the markets like the pros, and it just doesn't work that way. So having a mentor, a coach like myself, it costs thousands of dollars for this, $10,000, right? So I paid the price, and, they held my hand and walked me through. And, so confident in my training, but the concepts, again, are very complex. So how can we slow the learning curve? How can we speed up the learning curve, right? And so when I started thinking about my life in the streets, some of the things they started making better sense to me, because a lot of people teach these concepts. They make comparisons to insurance and real estate. And common people don't have a real estate license or an insurance license. That's complex in itself. So you're trying to teach me something complex with another complex strategy, right? So I had to make it simplified, and I connected those points. I used them on common people who are not sophisticated investors, and it worked. And then, but that's pretty much where it's at. Once I saw it working, that's how I knew I could do it.
Yeah, Pierre, going back to what you said about paying the price, I find it very interesting, not just by, the amount of money that can be spent, but the amount of time that, we have to go through things over and over and over just to perfect something or make it simpler for a student to do, where we may spend 5 to 10 years chasing our tail or proving this method wrong, proving this method right. And then it takes us maybe 6 months to a year to put together a solid path to where I went through this door, that door didn't work. But now, I guess you say the mechanics of everything works out for the student. And do you ever get like those questions like, okay, so how do you know this works? Where they actually question your own path. Maybe you've been doing this for 5 to 10 years, and I always say the best teacher is experience. Like, what do you say in those type of scenarios where you have a student who actually is in doubt, and it's like, well, why did it take you so long? But the course I'm going through is so easy to float through. Do you ever get those kind of challenges?
Yeah, I think sometimes we get challenges from those things. For the most part, it's not from the new students. It's from students that came from somebody else, bought somebody else's program, and didn't work out, and they quit. They gave up. And so the challenge normally comes from those people who didn't have success in it, and, they have self-doubt on themselves. And I tell them, your training underserves you. You didn't train enough. You need to get back in. You need to get more training. And, it's a defensive mechanism that they put up for themselves. But most of the pushback will come from those type of individuals. All the new trainers, they are doing excellent. I mean, you got guys that's executing trades in less than 30 days and making money, right? Again, this is something that's very huge. Stock options is more complex than stock trading stocks themselves. But we're able to take this most complex strategy, investment vehicle, and give it to the least sophisticated investors, and to have you start making money right now. And so, we had classes last night on the squeeze, which is an indicator that my mentor actually created. And so we went over that, and we had an experienced trader that came in, asked some questions, and I just actually walked them through the process, actually show them. I pull up like my accounts, my brokerage things, and we actually do it live together. So I'm in the trades with you. I'm walking there with you. So it's like me holding your hands. You're able to see how it works, and we can go back and back test these things in time. So once they see that, because seeing is believing. So we go and back test it and show them every time we caught these patterns, or every time we caught these signals, this is the result of it. So now that you have this information that I told you, now you know what to look for when you're out there in the field.
Right.
That's pretty much how it works.
Okay. Awesome. And as far as, something like your background and where you come from, I think it's awesome that you include your life story right into your business up front. How do you feel like that element adds to wall-street-jackboyz?
I think that, it was a brave move. I think it's imperative to be authentic when you have an audience. I hate gimmicks. I hate gimmicky people, right? Not that I hate them, but it's a turnoff, right? And I always try to be as authentic as possible. That's what carried me through the music industry. That's what carried me through my life in the streets, and that's what carried me through the stock industry as well. So I thought it was imperative so that people can see the man behind the, I'm a family man. I have a family just like you. We all have common goals, and so therefore you should understand my motives. They're not out to get you. It's a lot of people that's out here just to get you, And that's what happened to a lot of students that came to me. And you see some of the testimonies they'll tell you, I spent $10,000, I spent, $5,000 on this person. They left me high and dry. I spent this kind of money, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm still lost, So you see the testimonies, and they're all real. So, yeah, just authenticity and approachability. I think it helps us out in that way.
Yep. Is that a big challenge for you? Like, I could probably imagine, like, how many people get burnt in this field and in any business, really, especially the music industry. But how many people, how many people do you come across to where it feels like it's almost a healing process before, like, the real training begins because their trust is, like, just shot?
Jeez, man. Like, when I started it, like, most of the people that I recruited in the beginning stages, they were those people, and some of those people that I recruited in, they were on their way to get burnt by somebody who was known to burn other people. And I was reaching out, saving them. I see them, come here, let me take you under my wings. I got you. Come follow me. And then they came and they followed me and they started seeing it was working. And then they go look back at the other side and they're like, oh, man, that guy was really out to get me. Because, when you learn more, you grow more. In hindsight, you can go back and see it. You invested your little money with them or whatever you did there. But I just really want to help people, when I started this, and we don't discriminate, not at all. My goal was totally different from everybody else's. And, I started out teaching in another group that's on Facebook, a huge group on Facebook. And, that's how I came across and got my name, Gangsta-of-Wall-Street. And this is a group of predominantly white individuals, and, because they love the stock market. They love making money. It's easier to get them involved than it is to get people of color involved. People of color are just pretty much scared, right? If you don't know any better, right? So fear and ignorance keeps us away from this thing that generates wealth for so many other people. And so while I'm teaching these individuals, that are white, they like the way I talk and teach, and they call me the gangster. Like, this guy's like a gangster. So I'm like, the way he's describing, the markets, and that's how we got the name, Gangsta-of-Wall-Street. The white people did that, right? So, but, and it's not that they don't like gangsters. They just don't want them in their neighborhood or streets. They'd rather have you on Wall Street. So, but yeah, what I'm saying? So that's, it comes from that. And then coming back to, my personal goal was to get back to the streets and the communities. I had so many guys that, I just lost recently, It is crazy. I've lost maybe 5 of my friends in the past 6 months. Wow. That, the intelligent guys in the streets, because that's the way we grew up, of course. I mean, these guys are gone forever, like they're dead, or they in jail, like right now, just within 6 months time frame. And I was trying to recruit a lot of these guys, a lot of my guys that are no longer here. And I felt that if I could have got them, got their focus on something positive, on the stock stuff, because, again, it generates the money that you're doing, trying to get in the streets, even more money than what you're doing in the streets, but you're not risking your life. You're not risking your family. The only thing you're risking is some money, and money is nothing but a tool, right? And so my goal is to, I want those guys. I'm like, I know these guys, they doing all this negative stuff. They're very intelligent. Man, if they could see what I see when I'm looking in the stock market and how we're making money, like, this is crazy. So that's me building the whole thing. My purpose is really just to save lives, man. That's my purpose. So when everybody I bought in, once they knew my purpose, again, like you said, the healing process, some people was like, they just couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, this is like too good to be true. Like, are you kidding me? You really trying to help me? But once they started to see my story and hear the story, they're like, okay, that makes sense, man. And, you're a good dude. And so people follow me just because of that, And that's why we got over 300 members on the Facebook group and subscribers. So, yeah, it's been authentic.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you mentioned that about, the gangster of Wall Street, and we'll get into that a little bit deeper. But I wanted to back it up because you mentioned something else that I remember reading about. You've been in the Facebook groups, and you would almost stop someone from making a huge mistake with spending way too much money with somebody who's known to burn people. So you're in these Facebook groups actually, recruiting people out of other groups, right?
Yeah, that's when I started out. Because my initial goal was to have a strong 10 to 15 people. And when, I've seen people in other groups, lost, asking questions. They don't spend their money with, these people, and they're asking them for questions, and nobody can answer their questions. The questions are simple, right? But it's like, nobody's answering the questions. And so I could see them being lost. And then they have some of the other members that have no idea what's going on. They're trying to answer. You can tell they have nothing but books, book knowledge, but they're answering them incorrectly and things like that. So you got the blind leading the blind. But the leaders that they pay are nowhere to be found. And I was like, wow. Let me just pull this person in. Let me pull them in and, see what's going on. Let me pull them in. I get them over. I show them how we really do it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, they talk about trade. They don't really trade. You know what I'm saying? They just get you in and take your money. But they ain't in the battlefield like you. I'm in the battlefield every day. Like you see, I'm in the stocks right now. So I'm posting what I'm doing. I post what I'm seeing. You get to see it when you're in our group, which is on Facebook, which is Wall-street-jackboyz. With a Z, all you got to do is just send me your invite and we'll get you in there. You see our community. And a lot of those people that came over there, they're some of our biggest advocates and things like that because they came from that and they understood the process of being burnt. And so they started reaching back and grabbing other people like, yo, man, this person, they're trying to get this question. And these people, they're not answering questions. Can we bring them over? I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's get them on in. And that's how we got it. So now it's growing. It's crazy. Started with 10, 15 people, now over 350 people. So,
Mm-hmm. All right. Back to the image thing now. And I just retired from corporate America about the 1st of May. And some of the baddest gangsters were businesses, in my opinion. I've been there. But this brings up the question in mind, though, about perception, brand, and all that good jazz. With the hood image, not necessarily hood image, but with the, that type of image attached to your company, does that make it accessible level for any walk of life? And don't get me wrong, because I'm sure it appeals to like the brothers of struggle, the families, the lords. But what about the average Joe, the white collar, middle-aged white guy who, I don't know, who just wants to learn your methods? Like, right. And you said most of the, other, people in your circle, they actually gave you that name were white. But with somebody on the outside looking in, how would that, appeal to them in your opinion?
Man, it's funny, man. Everybody that's, a member of the group in the beginning stages when we first started, it was like, I might need to change the title, but this is what we're going with now because this is the vision that I have for it, right? I got a strong vision for this. But everybody that was in the beginning, they know that, my wife, she wasn't a fan of it, right? Like, that's kind of hardcore. You're going to turn off these people. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen, and I'm going to keep that in, consideration, right? And so we had some other names just on the side. But the vision that I had with the stock market is actually based off of literally what we're actually doing, And again, we want to attract, we don't discriminate anybody, but I already knew my target populace that I wanted initially, but I also wanted everybody else too. And I didn't think that it was intrusive or intimidating. To me, the Wall Street Jackboyz, the name itself is edgy to me, and I think there's a difference between intimidating and edge. In music we talk about it all the time. So you got a music background, you can understand when they do certain things like that's kind of edgy. It's right on the line, but it's enough to take on both sides, right? And so that's why I kept the name, started building up attraction, because the core target people that I want. I don't want to make it sound too intelligent, too smart, because then people feel like they're too dumb to learn this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And these are the people that I want to help. Now, I want to, we'll take the money from anybody. Don't get me wrong, right? You got money spending. the people that I really want to help, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not about me making money off the business. We make money, work and stocks and all that other stuff. It's really to give back to the community and really help people that really want to learn this stuff. So, I kept the title. And again, it's based off of what we're actually doing, in the stock market. So when we make money, it doesn't just appear out of thin air. I think some people think that, it's just magically appearing. Like we're literally taking from somebody else's account. When it leaves somebody else's account, it's going to my account. Like I'm jacking you. This is legal robbery. Okay? So people don't understand what we're doing is legal robbery. You would not go to jail for this. This is perfectly legal. But it's funny when you come from the streets, we know all about jack boy stuff. That's what we call the robbers, jack boys, right? Mm-hmm. So, again, we're jacking, but we're not jacking in the streets. We're jacking on Wall Street. So, therefore, Wall Street Jackboyz, it goes together. It's edgy. To me, that's what, that's why I want to stick with it. And, again, it wasn't intimidating to the white people that gave me the name Gangsta-of-Wall-Street. They knew my approach. I was different from everybody else. They had all these guys that sound so technical and sound so smart and can't make a penny. You got these guys sounding so intelligent and can't make money. And, my goal is to teach all my students how to make money like right now. And, so if I can put food on your table, why would you not follow, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, yeah, man, the email blast definitely got a good clicking. I just used the title of the interview, the Gangsta-of-Wall-Street interview, and that immediately, had their, ooh, what's this about? So, so you're right, man. It's an edgy approach, and it works. Proof today. So you got a diverse and versatile history yourself. So I imagine that adapting to a new environment might always present a new challenge, of course, but I'm sure it's also a rewarding. So take us back in your own history a bit. You have experienced the life of an artist. Take us deeper, though, into that transformation period from artist to stock option trader. Not only you're living in healthy conditions, but what was happening for you upstairs in your mind?
Man, it's tough, man. I was in the music industry since I was 14. Today I'm 32. So, spending so many decades of my life in something that I love. And I still love to this day, I still play piano and things like that. I put my baby on there. I love music. The music industry itself is just, it's not in the best state financial-wise. You can't find any investors that put any dollar into it because there's no money there. But then also, from a moral standpoint of view, it's just not the direction that, I'm heading in my life nowadays. And my transition really came from the love of my daughter. If you know my story, she's going through a tough custody battle for my daughter, which her mother, lost her, but the state took custody of my daughter without notifying me. And so I had a case that I had to fight against the state, not the mom. I had to fight against the state to save my daughter because, I pay child support, need to get my kid. It's well, they kicked me out of the court. They say, you got to get served. And so I actually went down and served myself so I can even be a part of the case. There was just so much that was against me. It was the biggest battle of my life. So maybe one day I'll write a book or something. You guys can really get some details on that very deep battle, which I came out victorious, thanks, for the love of, my wife, who was very instrumental in that, and God, but we came out victorious in it. But during that case, it got very nasty where the state was trying to use, my music industry stuff against me. So in the music industry, the things that we glorify, they're not positive, they're all negative, and now these things are coming back to bite me. So the things that I was doing to, get followers and things like that, you see me with all the naked chicks and bottles and drugs and guns and, violence, that's what the culture was, in at that time. That's what I was about. And it was really biting me in the butt. I'm trying to get that's in my battle. They're not going to give, take her from the state to say, I can take better care of her. This guy got guns and drugs and all these random chicks around her, so I had to, I had to make a decision. You really want to get your daughter, you want to stay in this music industry. And I had to make a decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting rid of everything. Get rid of the studios. I'm packing up, and I'm going to choose a legal path. I got into the financial sector, doing insurance, doing real estate, and still have my ties in the music industry, of course, because people call me all the time. I started doing consultations and things like that. Still had some productions going on the side, but I was trying to ease myself out of that completely. So at the same time making my transition, it was a little hard because, you get comfortable and, people know you. You've spent all these years building your name, and the lifestyle is, it's kind of like a weaning period. So it was a difficult transition, but having my daughter around, my family around, it meant so much more to me because in my music industry days, I didn't have them there. You're on the road all the time. You're in the studio all the time. You're in the club all the time. You're at a concert all the time. Like it's, never at the, with my family, sometimes, 24/7, don't even come home because of work. That's what we did. And so having my kids there and family there, it meant so much more to me. And I was like, I can make this transition. I can make more money than I was making doing that. And I have a great quality of life on my health side and my family side. It was a win-win-win situation, a triple win. Mm-hmm. So, oh yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people out there say they don't get stocks for one reason or another. What do you believe defines what a good or a bad stock is all about? And how does your company train its students to know and learn the difference of sell, trade, buy, or supply stock options, whether the market is booming or in the dumps?
Well, when you say good and bad stocks, good and bad, that sounds like a moral concept. And there is no morality in the market. This is just all numbers. Okay, mm-hmm. This numbers is what we're dealing with, and what we do is stock options. And I think that concept comes from long-term investors, stock investors, who are trying to make money when they retire. When they're 70 years old, they're trying to make this money for a long period of time. So they got to really fall in love with these stocks. So they fall in love with them. I love this company is doing so great, and then the company falls apart, and then they lose all this money. That is, I think where that concept comes from, a good and bad, where they say, that's a bad one. It didn't do me right. But with stock options, we're stock options investors. This is different from stocks. We're basically buying and selling contracts that control stocks, kind of like a coupon. It's kind of like you selling a coupon from McDonald's. You get a coupon from McDonald's for a burger. You don't want to use it. You can get a Big Mac for $1. Big Mac going for $4, so you can get it for $1. But you know what? I'm going to sell it to somebody for $2. It's still a win situation for them. You made you $1 on the coupon that you sold on this Big Mac. The stock is like the Big Mac. Stock options is the coupon. So somebody else want to get to it, and that's what we're doing. Somebody else want to get to the stocks. We don't never own the stocks. We're just really trading those contracts, and those contracts hold a lot of value. So it's a lot of money in that, and that's pretty much what we're actually trading. But it's called stock options because we have options. We have more options than the other investment strategies out there, and we can make money no matter which direction the market goes. The stocks can go up, we make money. They can go sideways, we make money. They go down, we make money. You got 3 different ways you make money. You're just buying stocks, it's got to go up. Okay, so you got one way out of 3 that you make money, so you're limited. With stock options, it's more complex, but you have 3 different ways that you can make money. And so, for us, there is no good and bad. We just see pure opportunities. We're looking at which opportunity are we looking at today. And it's a more aggressive style than the long-term investors because, again, these guys, they're trying to make money 30 years down the road, right? Which is good. I hope you got your 401ks and your IRAs for that. But in this day and age, you need something more aggressive, because of the way that the economy is going. The interest rate's so low, you're not really making that much money, and they're pushing the retirement age so far beyond. You really need to take advantage of these aggressive strategies so that you can build your financial future. And stock options give you that advantage where you can generate income. You pay yourself a bonus. You still work your job and do this. This is like an extra bonus for yourself, okay? But basically, what we do to prepare our students and train them, my methods, my training is very simple. It doesn't take rocket scientists to understand this stuff. If you went to school, they taught you patterns, and it's pretty much kind of like patterns. When you have a pattern, it gives you a predictability factor. Now, we don't know the future and things like that, but we know patterns. When you see a pattern or behaviors, they repeat themselves. If you see circle, square, circle, blank is going to be square, right? So because of the pattern. And that's what we're looking at in the markets. We're just looking at these patterns, and then it gives us a predictability factor. And this is what we call technical training. So technical trading. They have different styles of trading, but we have a technical style where we're removing emotions and we're just looking at the numbers and the patterns, the indicators, the tools that we have. That's what we're looking at. But that's how we prepare our students to be successful in this.
Definitely. All right, man, that sounds wonderful. So, how do like outside perspectives influence wall-street-jackboyz practices, or do they ever? I remember hearing one of your interviews where you mentioned that you guys can tell who the next president will be versus how the stock market fluctuates.
Right. Yeah. So we were trading the stock market during the whole election thing. So it's very entertaining. We got some guys in the group that's made lots of money off of that election. But it was funny watching, because people don't understand this money situation is much bigger than your neighborhood, your block, your city, your state. I mean, every day I come into the stock market and I sit down on my computer. I'm looking at the whole world every day. I know the status of the whole world. Which country is eating, which country is not, whatever the case may be. But this is about money and power, and it always has been. The small guys just don't understand, because, you're just, you're operating for somebody else that's getting the money, right? So you work for a company or somebody. But trust me, believe me, it's all about the money. Just the other night, if you were in our group on Facebook, I told the group, that night, preparing for the morning, because that night I, dropped some knowledge so we can prepare for the next day. And then before the markets open, everybody has, pre-market information, so you know what to expect. And I told them the markets are going to be down tomorrow because, Trump he's in the hot seat right now. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. Just understand he holds the position of power. It doesn't matter if it's him, Hillary, or whoever's in that seat. If they're in the hot seat, it's going to affect the markets, because U.S. is the most powerful nation in the world. And, U.S. not doing good. It hurts so many other people. So you got to understand that. So when we're looking at, they got Trump in the hot seat. Okay, good. They got him in the hot seat. This means there's going to be a pullback in the market. Now, I don't know how big it's going to pull the markets back, but I know it's going to be a pullback. So I warn all my, my students and associations that, expect this in the morning. So yesterday, you seen the Dow was down 300 points. The markets was down like super big yesterday. It was a big, super huge pullback, not a standard move. It was a big, major pullback. So a lot of people lost a lot of money. But because I have this information and this wisdom, I share it with my students so they know what to expect. We're capitalists before we're Republicans or Democrats, so understand that. We don't talk politics, because it's all about money. All right, so that's pretty much how we do that. But, as far as outside influences, I really wouldn't call that an outside influence. That's just an insight on, how the markets work, But I do use outside influences. If there's, you see like Warren Buffett, he's major. Warren Buffett, he buys into a stock. Well, he's so huge that people follow him. So if he buys a stock, that stock is more than likely going to go up. We're talking about a huge probability that it's going to go up just because he bought it, and he bought a huge quantity of it. So, that does play, a role. You got to pay attention to that stuff. You can't ignore it. In the movie, I've been saying this lately. It's funny because we do have white members. Don't get me wrong. We don't discriminate anybody. So it's just all for fun. But in the movie Rush Hour, I think it was Rush Hour 3, he said, follow the rich white man with all the money. It was funny because that's kind of what you have to do with stocks. Because whoever, he can be whatever color, but more than likely he's probably white, and that's the whole funny thing about it. So it's like, follow the rich white guy with all the money. We can see the orders, or you can see somebody place a big order. You can go in and see this information. When you see how much they put, and I can see somebody put $3 million behind the stock. I'm like, whoa, that's a major bet. This guy's in the type of order he's putting in means it's going to go up. He's betting for this to go up. So, we might need to, start paying attention to this one right here, because I got evidence that it's going to go up based off of that move. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So it seems to me like you're back home in North Carolina. And of course, we just asked you that at the beginning of the show. What would you say are the main differences, though, in how the business community supports itself and operates in New York versus North Carolina?
Man, New York is a beast, man. Like, I didn't live in the city. I lived on the outside, of course, but when you go to New York City, if you've never been, definitely make sure you go there, A lot of people go to Bahamas and all these other places. You need to come check out the places right here in the U.S. But New York is busy. New York is, everybody is moving. Everybody's moving. Like it's clockwork, moving, like 24 hours. There's no sleep. Like, But people are not just moving just aimlessly. Like, people are working, making money. Like, everybody's grinding. So, you know, when Jay-Z said, you know, you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, you got to be there to see it. Like, you see it. It doesn't matter your ethnic group. Every ethnic group in New York, and New York is a melting pot. You got all kind of immigrants just there that's grinding, man, like hustling, you know, selling all kind of stuff, businesses. It's just, when you get there, it should inspire you just to go there to see how hard these people grind. I mean, when I go to New York, man, I catch the Uber. You can catch an Uber any time of the day, man. They can, like, literally pick you up in 2 minutes. Like, like, and you can customize your, you know, I got a family, so I travel with family, I need car seats and all this stuff. You put all that in Uber, somebody pull up with the SUV in like 2 minutes. You're like, whoa, this is crazy. And you talk to these guys, you get to understand. They tell you, man, like, I go home when I feel like going home. I'm sitting here and make money until I feel like going home. You make your own hours. I'm like, well, that's crazy. That's crazy. So New York is like, you know, it's busy. It's definitely inspirational for you to grind, man. Like, everybody's eating and grind. It really puts you in that mind, in that set of mind. And North Carolina is nice. It's pretty laid back, you know. It's just real comfortable, great place to raise a family. I'm originally from here, so this is coming back home for me. But it's still relearning the environment and everything, so I still feel brand new. I got to get used to the pollen and the bugs and stuff like that. So I still feel brand new coming back. I'm in a whole different area now, but it's laid back. It's great for family, and it's a growing place. Like, New York is already big, so when something reaches potential, it's like, no, you can't expand anymore, right? You have to compress, but you can't expand anymore. But Charlotte has so much space and opportunity for space and growth, and so that's why I see the difference between, like, the two down here in the South. It is laid back. It's nice. It's clean. I like the air. Simple things like the air. Air smells good, yeah. But it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
All right. So what would you say is the biggest goal, though, that you share between your employees and yourself as head of the company, Wall-Street-Jackboyz?
Making money. That's what everybody came for. You know, if I can't make you no money, then I'm no good for you. Then you need to go to the next person that's going to help you to make some money. If you're not making any money, then it's just, you know, what we call it in the street, poops and giggles. We're not doing this for poops and giggles. We're here to make money. So until I'm not able to serve my purpose anymore, then you definitely need to get involved. That's our goal, is to make money.
Definitely. So can you tell us about, like, the toughest moments of your startup company? Like the very beginning, like the process and all the hardships that you went through and how you got over them.
Man, to be honest, I think I'm still in that stage right now.
Really?
I'm still in that stage right now. But, you know, the beauty about it for me, because I kind of already knew, it was kind of like, you know, like when I was in the music industry, I turned down a deal. I turned down an $80,000 signing deal, and I turned down a $100,000 deal. And it was actually for my wife. She's a classical trained singer and stuff, so she was, you know, great. They tried to buy me out of the contract or whatever, but it was crazy because they kind of like, they wanted you to need them. They wanted you to be broke, and they want you to, like, depend on them. And I told them I would never go back into the music industry again, depending on needing anybody. If, you know, the $80,000, I can get that myself. If I can't use the money that I would throw away, burn up in a fire, that's that type of money, then I'm not going to go into it. And, you know, I've upset a couple people because of that. You know, they thought I was a little arrogant, but I just know too much about the industry for me to go out that way. And so, you know, even, you know, what we're doing, you know, I had the same kind of approach to it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm kind of going off on a rant here, but I always tie things back into what I'm familiar with. So just kind of going back to that, into what we're doing here. That's pretty much where I'm at now. So, yeah, I think I answered your question. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But, I mean, you know, it's about overcoming, building the community, right? So I kind of knew going into this that, you know, there's a chance that, you know, it was not going to be successful. But that's got to be a risk that I'm willing to take. And if it's not the risk that I'm willing to take, then I'm going to do it. So that's what I was meaning about the story tying up to the music industry. Got to be worth the risk. And so I knew I had to invest capital to make this thing grow. Like, and just having the platforms and the software to produce the webinars and things like that, the classes, to have the website, the functionality. We have a Beautiful website, by the way. So you guys definitely check it out. It's wall-street-jackboyz.com. That's wall-street-jackboyz with a Z. Make sure you check the website out. Subscribe as well. It's only $147 a year for right now. It's a limited time. But, it's a lot that go into it. And so I had to, this is a commitment that I'm willing to take on, knowing that I won't break even. And I was comfortable with that, So then I was comfortable with that, and I was like, well, let's go ahead and do it. Whether I make money off of it or not, that's not even my goal, because we're gonna make money doing what we do here. As far as a business standpoint of view, I got to at least, let's go ahead and put this thing out. And so now, we're trying to build a community. We're trying to get more people involved. Again, we started, small, 10 people, over 300 people now, and we want to keep on growing this thing. Maybe get up to 1,000 people. 1,000 people next goal, right? So, that's where we're at now, and that's the hardest part, is trying to get people to come in, because, people have excuses for everything in life, and I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. The world doesn't care about excuses, so stop making excuses. I don't care anything you say. If it's anything other than the execution, it's an excuse. And I learned these principles from my life in the business world and corporate America. You come from corporate America, so you understand. You got to give these reports and accountability. Did you perform? Did you execute? And if you didn't, what happened, right? So, and then what are your plans of action? Right. So, we provide an opportunity for those people to say, I can't get a job here. I can't pay my bills this, and I can't get off of welfare here, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you say is just an excuse. Don't nobody care. So, the world doesn't care. I care enough to give you a different outlet, a different outlet. So come and try it, see what we got to offer, and try it for yourself to see if it works for you. You don't need any money to get started. So for one, people say, well, I don't have this, that, and the third. Okay, so we eliminate all your excuses. It's amazing. You see how many people that will not subscribe, right? Because they don't want to take the time to learn. That's the thing that's crazy. I tell you, when I was doing consultation in the music industry, I asked people, what's stopping you from getting to your goal? What's stopping you from getting your record deal? What's stopping you from getting your big show deal or this deal? And we need money. No matter who you ask, what's stopping you from getting to their goal? They need money. So I'm like, well, what are you doing to get to the money? I'm waiting for somebody to invest the money. You were doing what? You can't be possibly waiting for somebody to get. You need to go get the money. All right. So even with this thing, what's stopping you from learning stock options investing? You say you need money. Well, guess what? There's no other industry that's going to give you money to start your new career in it, except for stocks. The stock options, what we do, you sign up, they give you money to start investing. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening and you want to get started, if you thought you could never get involved because you don't have any money, you don't need any money to get started. Just sign up, get your broker's account. They give you like $100,000 of simulated money, test it out of the market, see how it works. And then once you're confident in what we're teaching here at Wall Street Jackboyz, then you can actually start applying your real money. It doesn't get no better than that, okay? So if you're listening, make sure, you get involved. And this is not nothing that, you thought that all, rich white people are the only people that can do this, or you got to be some smart Asian, whiz kid. You don't need all that, You take you with your wretched self and turn you into a sophisticated investor. Yes, that's what we do at Wall Street Jackboyz.
Definitely.
So, hopefully that answers the question.
All right, Pierre, I sincerely want to thank you for doing this interview with us. It's been very insightful. Everything I've seen, read, and heard shows you truly embody the inspiration of freedom, of financial liberty, and combined with their courageous ways of going after the biggest and grimiest market, you got a strong future ahead of you. I'm very sure of that. So again, thank you. It's truly been an honor and a privilege. Here's our long-standing tradition of the Vigilante Soapbox, where you can say anything at all that we didn't get a chance to chat about. Also, make sure to shout out those websites again, and even tell us about the current open enrollment into your business systems and the type of programs and material they can receive for signing up and going through the courses.
No, okay. So, yeah, basically, make sure you guys check out all our social media handles, which is Wall Street Jackboyz. Subscribe there. Follow those on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure you send your request for the private group on Facebook. You send in your request, we'll get you in there so you can see real live action with your own eyes. Seeing is believing, so we actually make that possible there. Make sure you go to the website, wall-street-jackboyz with a Z.com. and subscribe. Our courses are going for only $147 at this current time, which is limited time offer. Make sure you take advantage of that. This is a good return on your investment, because you'll make your $147 back in your first trades. All right, it's on me. And if you don't, then I'll give you your money back. Okay. Other than that, that's where you find us. That's where you get to the courses. Anything else, to send your questions and concerns to info@wall-street-jackboyz.com. That's where you can actually contact us on email, info@wall-street-jackboyz.com. Yeah, and I think that pretty much covers everything else. And you guys got any questions, want to know how to get started, just go there. If you join the group, we have, other pro traders that sit in there, your peers that helps out. I'm very active in there as well. So, but yeah, wall-street-jackboyz.com. You guys need to get it started, man. Get invested, man. Follow the money. Money makes money. Talent don't make money. Money make money. So you go to the money.
Right.
And believe this, everything got to go to Wall Street, okay? So everything got to, all these companies, they all got to answer. Trust and believe me. So if you're working for a company, like, you need to be doing this. You need to know about your company, You can make a bonus off your company. Your company, they're cutting your pay raise and things like that. Who cares? This game here, you can make your own bonus. Because and then you will know more about the companies that you work for, because they all have to give account to Wall Street. They have to go to the SEC. They got to make these reports. So everybody, your coworkers, everybody want to know if you guys really going to get that raise that you're looking for. You don't have to ask your supervisors or managers. This information is above their pay grade. You can get it before all your management, because they have to give the reports. And these are the things that we look at. So, we get to ask 10K, 8K filings and things like that. We understand what's going on with these companies. So it's pretty cool stuff, man. But we don't make it boring. I keep things very entertaining. When we make money, man, on the group, we have something, for all you hip-hop heads, guys, Plies had a song called I ran off on the plug twice. Something like that, however he does it, right? I can't sound like him, but, he talks about running off on the plug twice in the street. He's talking about, jacking the re-up man, right? That's what I got from him. I haven't listened to the whole song, but he's talking about he robbed the re-up man, basically. But it's the song sounds kind of good. So we talk about, when we have our new members, when they make their first money, they post it, and we call it ran off on the plug twice, because, they jacked somebody in the market for it. So you ran off on the plug twice. And this is the type of terminology that we use. So we have fun with it. We actually make this stuff fun. Don't think that you're going to be in a dry eye, the guy from the dry commercial, that type of training. It's nothing like that, man. We got the jams playing. I'm talking the same way I'm talking to you right now. You're going to perfectly understand these concepts. You're going to perfectly understand this market. You will become a sophisticated investor. You're not going to be shark food for the sharks. Okay, so if you want to be the shark food for the sharks, well, sign up with the other guys that charge you $250 a month to be lost. Right. So, yeah, definitely come to Wall Street Jackboyz. Come to the group. Go to the website, wall-street-jackboyz.com. See you guys in the room.
Dope. All right, after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the hot seat, and our fans love this part of the segment, and of course along with the actual interview, but the audience gets to hear either some vocals, poem, inspirational speech, written work, spoken word, freestyle rap, recite lyrics. Maybe Pierre has a joke or two, or a story, or maybe he can play the piano for us. You never know. With these creative minds and vessels we're producing the spotlight, and today you will find out if Pierre-Lawson, aka Nova Man, have what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for now, let's cut to some music. We have Houdini Black, Built for Greatness.
Yo. Ain't they gonna stand for no man? This is God's plan. Do this by my lonely, need no phonies hopping on the bandwagon. I'm just asking, keep your distance. Y'all obsessed with acting like being fake is all in fashion. Man, they lack the passion, breaking down faction. Just a fraction of them really rapping. The rest of y'all just standing there looking weird. Y'all just talking practice, hardly after or into it, captain. But you claim your boss, man, you capping. No reaction, no change of info tactics. Mention exactly how I said it. I've been in a war with plenty of veterans. Like in the room like last name Edison. Pat Alley Paladin delivered the medicine, put them in words, delivered the message. Just to match them, I hope they catch it the plate. Passing a kite for my brethren. This is the direction we're heading in. Yo, money all around. I see them haters start to frown like. Yo, all snakes envy. I was built for greatness. Feel me like money shoes hold ever show. Homie, how it go? Got it. Wizard of Oz. I was built for this. Others wishing, toss the pennies, waiting on Santa Claus. Jotting this in your Christmas list. I was working my gifts, 48 laws, make sure I don't miss. With a grandfather clause. No bending the rules, no bending me through. I'd have been to them school with being dumb. It's lit to be cool, but not me, fool. Manifest destiny that's ahead of me. I finesse all of my recipes. The best part of me stands like a king. The God in me right next to my queen. My sword, shield, my guns all safely. Floor filled with them traps can't break me. Can't think, understand, fear no man. This is God's plan. I do this in my sleep. Don't pray for me, but pray for the weak. I smell them haters coming. I'ma hop them like an athlete. Hopping over hurdles, bear no burden, trouble obsolete. I can feel it in the air. Yo. Money all around. I see them haters start to frown like. Yo. All snakes envy. I was built for greatness. Feel me like money, shoes, hold that for sure. Homie, how it go? Gotta choose, bro, friend or foe. Man, it's how it go. All my brothers keepers eating, man, that's all I know. Mixing good with evil for my people, man, that's what I chose. I can feel it in the air. Money all around, I see them haters start to frown like. All snakes envy, I was built for greatness, feel me like. Feel it in the air. Money all around, I see them haters start to frown like. All snakes envy, I was built for greatness, feel me like. Money shoes, hold that for sure, homie, how it go? Gotta choose, bro, friend or foe, man, that's how it go. All my brothers keepers eating, man, that's all I know. Mixing good with evil for my people, man, that's what I chose. I can feel it, shoes, hold that for sure, homie, how it go? Gotta choose, bro, friend or foe, man, that's how it go.
All right, we are back, and again, that was Houdini Black, built for greatness. So decide and do. Life demands decisions. If you don't decide, someone, something, some event beyond your control will decide for you. Decisions can be terribly difficult to make, but not making a decision is much worse. Even a decision that's less than ideal gives you the ability to move forward. Even when the decision does not work out well, it keeps you in control and enables you to adjust. It's easy and understandable to put off making a decision. Trust me on that one. But it's much better, though, to decide. The decisions are the more the decisions you make and follow through on, the better your decisions become. So make the decisions, put it into action, learn, adjust, repeat. You can do great, amazing things when you have a well-defined path to follow. So go ahead, decide, and do. What are you waiting for? And with that, let's bring back the man of the hour, Pierre-Lawson. What do you have for us this afternoon?
Oh man, you guys definitely put me on the spot here because I had nothing prepared. What did you? What? I thought it was probably have people asking questions. Let's see. You put me on the spot. I'm about to make a fool of myself because I probably just kicked a freestyle. I haven't rapped in forever, so you got something. You know, I'm so far removed from that industry, but let's see. So this week, watching the stock market, we made money off Chipotle the day we eat hibachi. I'm just looking at the charts, reading off the Fibonacci. You know, I pull out the MACD, stochastics, TTM squeeze breakout like acne. You should join wall-street-jackboyz. I can show you how to be a wall-street-jackbee. That's it. That's what I got for you. Okay. 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 We tied into the stocks, a little freestyle. That's it, man. All right. I'm all numbers right now, man. All numbers.
Definitely. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see if we do have any questions here in the chat room. All right, I just got one from Google Plus. Pierre, how long did it take you to learn stock options trading?
Stock options is let's see. It took me really about 9 months to really get a good grip on it. So yeah, probably about 9 months to really get a good grip on it. But you know, I've been teaching it to all my students. They've been learning in less than 30 days. But it's one of those things where you will always learn because there's always something new. where the markets are always changing. So that's why it's also a little difficult to try to learn from books, because the books become outdated as the markets change. And that's the value of having a coach, a mentor, so that you can really learn it as the markets change. So it took 9 months for me. I'm teaching you guys in 30 days. You'll be executing your first trades. Thank you.
All right. Next question. What is the difference between stock options and stock itself?
Yeah, so basically, we're talking about, securities, we're talking about assets, ownership in the company. That's, pretty much what stocks are. And a stock option is not a stock itself. It's a contract that controls that security. So basically, the contracts hold a value, and that's what we're trading. To kind of make it simple, we're basically trading, these contracts that control these stocks. To put it in perspective, in order for you to really make money with stocks, you need to be buying about hundreds or thousands. Just buying one just isn't enough. You shouldn't even waste your money doing it, because even when it has a big percentage gains, you're really not going to make any money, right? The stock can make a 50% gain, 100% gain, and you make $1 off of it because you don't have enough. So the thing about stocks, you need to have volume. You need to have huge quantities for it to really make sense with the type of money that you make. But stock options, they're cheaper to get involved in as well, much cheaper than stocks. You have leverage because you can control those big stock names that you normally wouldn't be able to afford, like Google, for instance. Google's $800, $900 per share. And so you're talking about buying 100 of those. I mean, you need at least $100,000 to even participate in that type of stock. When stock options, you can go in and buy you a call contract for probably, $60, $100 or something like that, and still make money with the big guys. So that's the beautiful thing about stock options. You have the leverage. You can get involved in these things and still make money. Hopefully that explains it. Sum it up. If you need more information, make sure you go subscribe. I actually give you a full breakdown of what we do and what stock options are.
Definitely. All right. I think that is it for the questions. And you guys are quiet today. Have you had your caffeine yet? If not, that's cool.
It's a working hour, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that. A lot of people could be, have their phones on mute. That's cool, too. Be sure, if you do have any further questions, be sure to email Mr. Lawson. Where can they find you at through the email?
info@wall-street-jackboyz.com. So send your questions there.
There you have it. All right. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download. You can grab them from Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, and of course our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request some music or a guest, or just send something for us to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinion on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch that disclaimer, because all of my opinions are always right. This is my show. Bottom line, just deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. Also, another special thanks to our guest, Pierre-Lawson, for joining us today, because we stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Okay, here's one final thought. Just remember to be yourself and be absolutely freaking great at just doing that. Peace, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds, of the duo No Longer the Hero. Co-hosted by the Vigilantes Banditti. Call in to join the mix. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com.